Hi YouTube, it's Elon QP, and I am going to make a video requested. It is on a double tri-shutter card. This is one my phone will cooperate and flip. This is one I posted on Facebook, and a friend asked me how I made it. And I thought I could find the video on YouTube, but I couldn't find one that did it exactly the way I did it. So I am going to show her how to make the base of it. This is where we're going. It's, I believe, 32 inches long, stretched all the way out. And this is I'm not going to do all the layering. I'm just going to show you how to make the base of it. So we'll sit that sort of in the frame so you can kind of see it. I'll get my keyboard out of the way. I started with two 12 by 12 sheets of paper, and I cut them into 6 by 12 sheets of paper. I took another one of those and cut it in half into two 6 by 6 pieces of paper. And you need one 4 by 6 piece of paper, but I have two, and the second one is optional, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. So then you take your paper, let's get it over there so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to call it out because I don't know that I can get any closer. You're going to put it, the 12-inch piece, in to your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 2, at 4, and if you don't have a 12-inch long scoreboard, you rotate your paper around and do again at 2 and 4. If you do have a 12-inch, it's 2, 4, 8, and 10, and set that aside and do the same thing on the second piece of paper. I hate that I went off that line. 4, 8, and 10. So take your 6 by 6 piece of paper and just score it at 2. Take the other 6 by 6 piece of paper and score it at 2. And the 4 by 6 pieces of paper do not get scored. We are done with all of the score work, except that you want to reinforce all of your folds with your bone folder. And it doesn't matter in what direction, because as you can see, things go back and forth and back and forth. So I am scoring both of them in both directions. I'm scoring all of the scores, both mountain and valley, on each score, just to really get it in there and make it be able to move the way I want it to when I do finally score it for its final position. This is a Teflon bone folder, and I love it because it does not mark up your paper. I wasn't sure if I got them all. So now things are scored, and the next thing you do is you have to cut between the score lines. You're going to And I'm going to do it at the 1 inch mark. I love this Fiskars scoreboard for that because it's not, my other ones are rotary and guillotine, and I don't know where their cuts actually start. So I am actually cutting in between the 2 and the 10 score mark. And I have set my paper at 1 inch. I'm going to turn it, rotate it around, and cut it at 1 inch in the same place, from the 2 inch to the 10 inch mark. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other sheet. Set it at the 1 inch and cut between my scores, between the 2 and the 10. Rotate around. Set it at the 1 and score from the 2 and the 10. So now, you see I have pieces like that. Now we are ready to adhere our pieces together. And here's where you're going to take your 1 4 by 6 piece. And I am going to don't roll this very well, so I'm going to get some glue because I like to glue and tape, and it is very sturdy. One moment. Okay. So, got some fine line glue. I've put it in a Tilly's Bridge applicator. I don't believe you can buy these anymore. And line up the fold. Make sure it's height-wise the same so nothing sticks out. Got 1. And then you're going to do the same thing over here. Put some glue. For things to be nice and tight. And so here's where we joined one piece of paper. And so we're going to put that, see them? And now 2 long pieces are 1 long piece. And here's where the optional piece of cardstock comes into play. Let's see if I can zoom in for you without losing. There's a little bit of zoomed in. You got a join mark here. I like to cover that. So I'm going to take my piece, my optional piece of paper, this gets my edges real tight. I put in a little glue where I didn't get the tape along the edges. I'm sorry, I'm off camera because I zoomed in. Can't see where I'm putting glue, just along the places where the tape didn't get. Then I'm going to cover over the seam. And now you can't see the seam anymore on either side. So whichever side ends up on the outside, you're good. Now, we're going to take our 6-inch piece, and you can see there's a 2-inch piece, and there's a 2-inch piece, and that's where we're going to join them. So, and I know that I did an overscore on one of these pieces, and I want that to be on the outside so that you can't see it. Okay. So I have it facing the way I want it, And again, I'm going to put glue right up on the edge. And this card will not be coming loose. And the way I do this one so that it lines up pretty good is do that fold. Something is holding up my... And I lay the fold I lay it right up to the fold. And I'm going to zoom back out because I keep getting off camera. Okay. We're almost finished. And we do the same thing on the other side. Okay. How did I do? Put them together this way. So I'm going to put my adhesive on this one and my glue all along the edge and some in the middle. And then so now it is all put together. Now here's the part where you start making the folds. So first one's going to go like that. I just pull this over to the front. And this is going to go back. And then it automatically sort of folds itself for you. And you set all your folds with the bone folder. So there you've got that one. Then I come over here and I do the same thing. You're going to go back and you're going to go back. And you're going to go that way. Right? You're going to come forward. You're going to come forward. And there's your base. They meet almost in the middle. Still the beautiful thing of having this Teflon bone folder. And so there's your base. And the way I figure out measuring for the pieces that overlay, I know that this the short piece up here is an inch long, an inch wide, and so I make my pieces 3/4 of an inch wide. And that gives me a border on the top and the bottom. And then I just kind of decide how I want to lay the pieces here, and I measure them and take off that 1/4 of an inch, which gives me 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So, as always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. I will put the measurements in the description, and I hope that you can make a double tri-shutter card with a 1-inch border, because that gives you more space in here, more space in here, more space in here. And then my fold ends up more like a gatefold on the front. The other ones had a flip back. I didn't do the flip back. And so there you are. It's always to leave you in the hands of the Creator. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Bye-bye.